So, it's been about 20 years of Pokemon, full of amazing and great moments, and a couple of not too good ones. I'm looking at you, Pokemon Team Turbo. Well, believe it or not, we have over 800 Pokemon now, all of them with unique designs, typings, and moves. But I can imagine that as a designer, one tough challenge you must face is giving your creation a name. I mean, you just drew a blob and you have to come up with a unique and original name when all of a sudden it hits you. Bingo! You shall be known as Ditto. Now, we all wish that every Pokemon had a crazy cool name, but let's get real here. Some of them, well, let's just say that they could have done a little bit of a better job. So today we're counting down the top 5 Pokemon with the worst names. In my opinion, of course, so just don't kill me. There's no secret that many Pokemon are based on real life animals. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We have creatures in our world that could be great Pokemon. Now, in the Pokemon world, we have a monkey named Mankey, a snake named Ekans, which is just snake backwards. Wow, how original. But one of the worst offenders for me is Horsey. Yes, the Pokemon based on the seahorse was named with basically the same name, just changed the order of the words. I get that you want to make a reference to its inspiration, but you could have been more original, like, call it Mystery, Grace, or Debbie. I wonder how many of you get that joke. On the same note, Krabby could have gotten a better name, but don't get me wrong, I like the name Krabby, but what bothered me the most is his Japanese name, which is Crab. It seems like they put no effort into this one whatsoever. How does that work? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we just created a new Pokemon based on a crab. What should we name it? How about Crab? Oh my god, you're a genius! But after putting some thought into it, it's really difficult naming a crab without insulting or sounding too ridiculous, like Cancer, which is the Latin term for crab. So I decided to call him Scrabble. You know, like from Scribble? I know, mine is not any better. Now, throughout the generations, we have received many fighting Pokemon. Among these, we have the Judo Pokemon Throw. I get it, the main point of Judo is to take down or throw your opponent, hence the inspiration of the name. But the average player might think they just spelled the word wrong or simply drew inspiration from one of the Pokédex entries, like from Pokemon Black and White 2. When it encounters a foe bigger than itself, it wants to throw it. It changes belts as it gets stronger. Are we still like cavemen or something? Oh, you throw a big monster. You name throw. People who practice judo are called judoka, so play with that word. I don't know. Do the horsey thing and call him kajudo or something. Well, I think we would have still complained about it. The name Porygon did make a lot of sense to me, and I liked it. I mean, it was a man-made Pokemon that is formed with polygons, hence his name. We're cool, right? He has a great name. So when an evolution was announced, I was like, oh my god, he looks more futuristic now. I wonder what his name is. Porygon 2. Yeah, that is exactly what we got. They just added the number 2 to the name. I get it, it's the second evolution, and that's why we have 2. But just imagine if we were to use the same logic to name all the Pokemon. Charizard would be called Charmander 3, and Mewtwo would be called... Wait a minute. Another thing that bothered me about Porygon 2 is that, well, it doesn't look like it's made out of polygons anymore. Well, maybe some really high render ones, that is why he looks so smooth. So I thought his name would be closer to spheres or something. I mean, just look at it. It's spherical. I was really debating who to put in the number 1 spot, and I know many of you are probably expecting Seal. I mean, that one is obvious. All they did was change one letter and it sounds the same. I know it's supposed to be a kid's game, but I think a 5-year-old can see through that one. So I'm gonna go with Licky. Not only is his name horrible, but his design as well. I don't want to get into that one though. But as far as the name, look, we all get it. This thing has an obsession with licking everything it comes across with. But really, we don't look at a car passing by and name it Fasty Fasty. I know that's a horrible example, but you get the point. Sadly, I have no better name for such a Pokemon, but that's okay. You know why? Because maybe I would have found it a bit too weird to create a creature that is obsessed with licking you all over. So there, I would have never been put into this predicament. Maybe you guys have a better name for this atrocity. Well, there you have it, Pokemon fans. Those are the top 5 Pokemon with the worst names, and in my opinion, of course. What are some of yours? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a small break from the history of the trainer class series, and we're gonna come back to the series next week. So make sure to stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Pokemon fans.